President Trump said he's committed to sending Americans the $2,000 stimulus checks, but not before Christmas. That's going to be a lot of disappointment to a lot of people, especially seniors who are hoping to get this check before the end of the year. However, the president's announced a new timeline on when the stimulus checks would arrive in your mailbox. I am going to give you details on the timeline, plus who is eligible, because the president also made headlines about eligibility. He gave a specific number on income limit for the stimulus check that he's planning to send Americans from the record tariff revenue that has come in into the administration. My name is Kwame Kwade. I am a government benefits expert. For 15 years, I've been helping seniors get the retirement benefits they deserve. I create content on Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, food stamps, and other personal finance topics that affect seniors and their retirement and benefits. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. I am glad you're here. Do me a quick favor, go into the comments and let me know your city and your state. If you've been watching this channel for a while, welcome back. I am glad you're here. Thank you for your continued support. Let's jump right into it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to answer 5 common questions that I've been receiving in the comments to previous videos about the stimulus check, and make sure that you get the up-to-date information on what's happening. So the first question is this real? Is this going to happen? Well, my answer to that is that the president has been talking about this consistently, and so I take him at his word when he says that he wants to send a stimulus check to Americans, because this did not just happen. It started back in July, and I have the evidence to show you. So the first thing happened when he talked about a $600 stimulus check. That $600 stimulus check was supposed to happen in July. That prompted the Senate, a senator, to draft legislation in order to make that happen. So Senator Josh Hawley of Missouri then drafted legislation and put it in front of the Senate. And that legislation is what I'm sharing with you right now. It is called the, let me find the name. Well, it says to amend the Internal Revenue Code of 1986 to provide rebates to individuals using tariff proceeds in the United States Senate. So that was the legislation Senator Josh Hawley drafted in response to the president wanting to send a $600 stimulus check. So that was the first time the president talked about this. And then in October, he came back and increased the amount of the stimulus. So October, we got another data point where the president came out and said, well, not only do I want to send stimulus, but I want to send more money. So here is this one from October the 7th, and the president said he's considering $1,000 to $2,000 stimulus check. That was the second time. And then the third time is just recently, where the president is talking about sending the stimulus check in 2025. So that was what kept everybody's hopes up. You know, here it is from Fox. It says Trump dividend, tariff dividend, what Trump is again saying about possible 2025 stimulus check. So in the third time he spoke about this, which was November the 9th, he then stayed with just 2,000. It wasn't just 1,000 to 2,000. So it went from 600 to 1,000 to 2,000 to now 2,000. So then he said he was going to send it by the end of the year. And so then everybody was excited. And then he recently came out a few days ago when a reporter asked him on Air Force One, are you going to send the stimulus before Christmas? And he said, no, it's going to be a different timeline. So then I'm going to answer the second question. When is the president going to send the stimulus check? Well, with that, I am going to go to a Newsweek article that highlights exactly what the president said about timeline. So here we go. It said that Trump details timeline for 2,000 direct payments. And I'm going to take you to the section. You know, President Trump said that his proposed $2,000 tariff dividend payment to Americans are likely to come next year. This is his quoted text directly. We are going to issue dividends later on, somewhere prior to, probably the middle of next year. That is what the president is saying. A bit later than that, thousands of dollars for individuals of moderate income, middle income. Those are the people that the president wants to send the money to. Moderate income, middle income. So that is the second question. Number three, are seniors eligible for the stimulus? And the answer is yes, because when this started, when Senator Josh Hawley introduced that legislation, he made clear that here it is. The stimulus will be sent to everybody, including children. It says ensure that the amount of rebate is at least $600 per adult and dependent children. So it included everybody. And here's another reason why I know for sure it includes seniors. In that same release, he said that it will be modeled after the stimulus that was passed by Congress in 2020. If you remember, during the pandemic, that stimulus went to everybody, including those on Social Security and disability benefits. So that's the third question. The fourth question, what is the income limit? So to that, I'm going to take you back to the Newsweek article because it includes that, because the president and his team have come out and given us an income limit. So I want to show you evidence of that. This is the Treasury Secretary. Here we go. So Trump has not specified how those income brackets will be defined, though Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent told Fox News last week that they will be for families making less than $100,000. So that is the income limit on who qualifies for the $2,000 stimulus check. And then the last question that people are having is that there is a Supreme Court case that is challenging the tariffs. So what is going to happen if the Supreme Court rules against President Trump in the tariff case? Well, that is a great question, and I am going to answer that by going to another article that is going to help us understand that. So she says, here we go. Now, the timeline will have checks starting hitting the bank accounts on the run up to the mid-year elections next year. So, is the president timing this so that we get the check before the midterm? Is that why he changed his mind and doesn't want to do it this year and wants to do it next year? Or is it during the summer? Is he going to send it during the summer, or is he going to send it right before the election? But here is the critical part. Further complicating the financing of the rebate is a looming Supreme Court decision over Trump's legal authority to quickly implement tariff through the 1970 International Emergency Economic Powers Act. That is what the president is using to levy the tariffs. That has been used as the justification for most of his import taxes. If the court determines that the IEEPA tariffs are unlawful, businesses that pay the tariffs will be entitled to a refund that will cut the revenue available for the rebate checks. So that is the answer to that. So if the Supreme Court rules that the tariffs are illegal, then the stimulus is off, because the president was going to fund the stimulus using money from the tariffs. But if the tariffs are ruled to be illegal, then there is no stimulus. Maybe that's why he wants to wait until next year to do it, because of the challenge in the Supreme Court, because the president said he was going to do it this year. And as I showed you in that Fox News article, he was talking about 2025. And then all of a sudden, he changed his mind to 2026. And so I am believing that it is because of the pending Supreme Court case. Because look at that headline. What Trump is saying about possible 2025 stimulus check. So that was the original idea, and now it's been shifted to 2026. So those are the 5 questions that I wanted to answer for you. If you have further questions about this, let me know in the comments. If you want to stay on top of all news updates, anything in and out of Congress that's going to affect your benefits, join thousands of seniors that are getting 1 or 2 text messages from me each week, free of charge, nothing from, it is to keep you updated. Text the word insider to 443-293-0080. You'll be added to my text list. You join thousands of seniors and others that have been getting real-time information that has could possibly impact your benefits, your retirement, and your finances. So finally, I've been talking about helping seniors, 100,000 seniors during this open enrollment, get peace of mind about Medicare. And I'm still doing that. I am getting closer to that number. So here is the deal. A lot of seniors have come back sharing feedback. They have called Chapter Medicare and came back and told me what their experience have been. I want to share a few of those testimonials with you so that you too will understand why it is important to not automatically renew your Medicare premium or Medicare plan during this open enrollment, but call Chapter and let them review your plan and let you know if you are in the right plan for you. So I am going to start with the first person, and he said, let me read that to you. So this is the first feedback that I got, and he said, I just reviewed my Medicare through Chapter, and they told me I was in the best one for me already. So that is what I'm saying. Like, you may not have to make a change, but do you know if there are better plans out there for you? Let Chapter offer you free, unbiased opinion to help you figure that out. The second one that came in, it says, thank you very much for sharing Chapter information. I called over the weekend and was able to register for a different Medicare Advantage plan that had all my doctors and covered my medication. That is what I'm talking about when I mean peace of mind. Here's another one. I took your advice and called Chapter. I signed up with Cigna. I previously had Humana. This was a better plan for me with Cigna. I signed up 10 days ago. Thank you for helping me. And I went in there and responded. That's great to hear. I'm glad that the information was helpful to you. And then there is a last one I want to share with you. It says, thank you for commenting this information. I reached out to the number and they've found me such a better plan for 2026. I just wanted to say thank you for helping those of us who are trying to figure it out. Have a blessed night. And I like that comment, of course. And so, guys, Chapter is the real deal. Give them a call today. And these are the people you're going to be talking to that are ready to help you figure this out, to get that peace of mind about Medicare. Call 539-205-2147. They can save you $1,100 on average on Medicare Advantage during this open enrollment. And if you're on original Medicare and you think you don't need help, wrong, because Medigap plans are changing. Medigap Plan F has been eliminated or is being phased out. So there's a lot of things you need to consider, and prices are increasing in many places. Let Chapter offer you a free, unbiased opinion and help you confirm whether you are in the right plan for you, and if you're not, help you switch to a better plan. So that is what I wanted to share with you today. If you like what you heard, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button so that you'll be the first to know when I release another video. Thank you for watching.